Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how to optimize Windows 10 and 11 for maximum performance in games, productivity, and editing using advanced tricks and tricks that no other YouTuber will tell you. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So in order to start these optimizations, what you have to do is you want to download this file, and I put a link in the description so you can download this file. And basically once you're done downloading, go to your file explorer and you want to make sure that WinRAR is installed. So let me go to my file explorer, go to downloads, and the optimization pack should be here. And so you want to click on extract files and click extract and place files. You're gonna need WinRAR to do this. So if you don't have WinRAR, I'm gonna be putting a link in the description so you can download WinRAR. So what you want to do is you want to click OK, and once you click OK, you want to open this and make sure you grab this and you want to click on copy and paste it to your local C drive. So I pasted it to my C drive, and this is so some things might not work if you don't do this in the file. So once you finish doing that, what you want to do, you want to go to the start folder, and this file right here is going to optimize your Windows computer for the best performance. And this is doing all these files to do a different thing. So first, before doing any of this, we just want to prepare for doing these files. So first, we need to create a restore point, and to create a restore point, you want to click on this shortcut, and this should lead you to the create a restore point page. And you want to make sure that turn on system protection is on, and this space usage is 3%, and this is going to basically around 3%, and this is going to configure the restore point. If you see any of these grayed out, it's because you didn't turn on system protection. And make sure system protection is on. And to create a restore point, just click on create, type a name. I'm just going to type restore 1 and click on create. So it should finish pretty shortly. And the reason we're creating a restore point, make sure you create a restore point before doing any of this, because there's a very small chance that things could go wrong. But if they do, you could restore your computer using the restore point. And in case you want to do that, in case you don't like how anything turned out, you want to click on restore files and settings, click on your restore point I created. My restore point is called restore 1, and you want to click finish down here. And I'm not going to do this because I didn't do any steps, so I can't even do this, and I can't even record this. Record it, so I'm just gonna move on to the next step. Make sure you create a restore point before moving on to the next step. You want to click on check if Windows is activated, and since I'm using a virtual machine, it's going to say it's not activated. But please activate your Windows, because you won't be having a watermark in the bottom mark of your screen. It's just going to make things a lot easier to activate your Windows. And I'm also going to include a website in the description where you can get Windows 10 Pro keys that will work for Windows 11 for a pretty good price. And so I'm going to leave that in the description. And so to activate it, you just change product key. I obviously can't put it cancel, and we'll put website in the description and a code that you could use to get a couple of % off. So that's pretty nice. And and disable UAC. This is actually a file, and what this basically does is that this is going to disable user account control. User account control is going to prevent some stuff from occurring. So we're just disabling temporary. When we finish, we enable it, but basically you want to click yes. And you want to get a notification. You must restart your computer to turn off user account control. So what I want you to do is I want you to exit out of this and restart your computer. So I'm just going to do that now. Make sure you do that before moving on to the next step, and I'll see you when I finish restarting. So I'm back after restarting my computer. You want to go back to where you left off, which I want to wait for my file tour to go to the start, and I'm basically finished with the start, so I can move on to the next step. And if in case you don't wanna this is basically a text document that you can look at, and this will give some elaboration on what you need to do. So the next step is Windows updates, and you want to click this, and this is basically turning off automatic Windows updates, which sometimes if they do it automatically, it could change some stuff. It's just overall annoying when Windows is automatically updated. So this is going basically maybe update your Windows family. You could still update it, but it's just gonna make it. You just gotta physically go to it and check for update. And I recommend doing this like 3 days, like once a week, and click this file 2 times, and the Windows, and it's basically going to apply this file for you. And that's a good thing about it, because if you were to do all the steps, every step in this file, this video would be probably like five hours long. So I made it so that it won't spend too long. So click on disable automatic driver updates, and this disables the automatic driver updates in Windows. And if you don't know, Windows Update actually automatically updates your drivers, but sometimes these drivers are mostly old drivers, and most of the time they're not good drivers. You could still go through Windows Update and update. I just don't recommend it, and it's going to disable the driver update. If you were going to install drivers, I recommend going to your manufacturer driver site and just download them manually. So I'm going to click on this and just click disable automatic driver update and do not add to the registry. And you are sure want to continue? Yes. Yes. And another stuff, you want to click on WinR. Press R. It should bring up a little runtime log. If that's not working, you just type run in the search bar, and you should type system properties hardware. You just copy and paste. I should have did that. Click on the site's installation settings and make sure you select no. Your device might not work as expected. So some reason I have it selected as no, but yours should be yes, and click on no. Your device might not work as expected, which this is not even true. I'll listen to this, and just click on cancel, and then okay. And if you get a new computer from like the store, you want to make sure that you immediately check for updates before disabling auto Windows updates. And this is going to check for Windows updates in your in your computer. And so I shouldn't be checking for updates now, but make sure you check for updates next. But if you get a new computer from the store, make sure you check for Windows updates before you apply any of these files. And yeah, so you basically done with this files, and this is going, and the next file is going to remove unnecessary Windows program. So this file is gonna the next file is gonna remove the unnecessary Windows program, which is keep building the Windows stuff. So first, before removing anything, you can remove certain files that you don't need. If you don't know the names, if you know that if you don't know like what a file is for, I wouldn't recommend deleting it, because that file could be really that app could be really important. So delete the apps. I recommend delete Microsoft OneDrive. Delete that. You could delete the Xbox app, but I use that. But if you don't use that, you can always reinstall it if you made a mistake and deleted it. So these programs, they're basically useless, and some of them you can't even uninstall. The gray button is preventing you from uninstalling these programs, and that how the next file is going to allow you to uninstall these programs. So I'm going to just uninstall some of these programs, uninstall stuff like Microsoft Solitaire Collection, OneNote, uninstall the programs you don't need, and then come back and we're going to be deboot the Windows. So I finished installing what I don't need, and we're going to be deboot the Windows, your Windows. So wait. So how to go your Windows is these are the apps you don't need, and each app you want to click on run with PowerShell. And you want to do that for each app. So run with PowerShell, run with PowerShell, run with PowerShell. And if some of these apps you need, like for a case you need a calculator. And if you get this prompt, just press Y, say Y, click say Y, and this is going to uninstall the basic apps will come with Windows, which you don't need, and this is going to help free up space. It's going and even in some cases make your PCs speed up, and it also cleans up most Windows applications. So you won't be it's going to only include all the apps you need, and yeah. So go through each file, do that, and yeah. So once you're done cleaning out all your programs, debugging your Windows, I'm just gonna further do it right here just because I do not need that. Please do not install that. Microsoft News. Don't need this. It is Office products. These are pretty important, so I want to keep these. Keep these on your start menu that are important. So I'm gonna move on to the next step, which is this where the fun stuff starts to happen. So you want to click on Startup Apps, and you could click on apps that you don't want starting up in the background. So I don't want Microsoft Edge, I don't want web browsers, and it's going to improve your start time in the PC. Let's say you have 20 apps and each of them starting up at the same time, and that could be the reason why your PC might start pretty slowly. So and also keep the apps you need starting up in the background, let's say use like Logitech G Hub, like mouse software that constantly needs to be run, run, run in the background in order for your mouse configuration to save, or other programs that you actually need it, that then make sure these are enabled, and make sure the programs you need are enabled, and you want to click on your Autoruns, and this is going to install Autoruns, which and you want to click on log on. You want to make sure you're an administrator. You want to click on log on, and this is gonna basically disable further disable your startup items. So you could disable CMD exe, Microsoft Edge Auto Launch, Google Chrome, these stuff, this, and quit programs you know that need to be running. Like don't uncheck like the main start programs you use, which that's gonna you won't be able to use those programs as starters. So only uncheck the ones that you don't use as startup. And once you finish, you want to click close, and you want to click on batch files, and these batch files that's going to help improve your performance, disable memory compression. Want to wait till this run. You can also run them at the same time. Disable mitigations. Click the same key to continue. BCE tweets. Disable hibernation, and what these all do is they're gonna disable some Windows features that cripple your performance, like memory compression, mitigations, BC edit tweets, and disable hibernation, which disabling hibernation could give you a little bit of more storage. Now, if you use hibernation, and you'll know if you use hibernation if you constantly shut off your if you constantly use your PC, then you turn it back on, all your and it's basically saved. You're gonna type in your CMD power CFG H off. I typed it wrong. It's supposed to be power CFG H off, and CFG H on. It's actually supposed to be on if you want to turn hibernation back on, but make sure it's on. Alright, now it says that the system firmware does not support hibernation. I don't know why I'm getting that error. Probably it's because I'm on a virtual machine. But if you're on a regular computer, that should just work. And make sure you disable hibernation at high recommend, and disable all these other stuff. And we're going to move on to the main registry file. So this is going to change your Windows settings, your settings in Windows, which is gonna optimize all your Windows settings. Click yes, and it's going to say optimize all Windows settings has been added. Registry. You want to click on registry tweaks, and you want to click on are you sure you want to continue? And yes, and this is gonna, if you can look at this is gonna optimize all your settings in Windows. It's gonna make it overall. It's gonna make all your Windows settings basically optimized, and you can always change your Windows settings. Like if you want notifications, like you can always change it. This script is also going to disable notifications. So if you want that back, you can always enable it in your Windows settings. And registry tweaks. What this does is it basically favors performance for your Windows computer. And these are other registry files. Disable apps from running in the background. Make sure you buy that. Disable SSO and game bar. This is mainly if you play video games. This will also help improve your performance in video games. If you're getting problems, I'm going to create a revert stuff in the description, and you could basically revert certain changes you think that are causing the problem. And I'm also going to put like a FAQ, like certain stuff aren't working. I'm going to basically tell you how to fix it. And power throttling, disable that. And second meltdown Windows patches. You don't really need it to do this enable. These are certain security patches in Windows, but your web browser already has them, so there's no reason to enable it and to technically have them enabled. And it basically, you could gain some CPU performance from doing this, so prevent unnecessary apps from automatically starting. Okay. And mouse and keyboard optimization, you want to click on mouse settings, and you want to make sure this slider is 6 out of 11 and disable hands forward position. And you want to click this mouse optimization file. You want to click yes. Okay. And another stuff I recommend you to do is to install your mouse and keyboard software. And this will help you gain control of your peripherals. If your mouse and keyboard doesn't have software, then don't install it. And be careful when you install. Don't install like stuff from certain sketchy website. Just go to your main product's website, and I just recommend you to install from there. So the sound optimization, you want to click your sound device. You're going to click on disable all enhancements. Click apply, and you want to make sure this is 16-bit 48,000 hertz quality. If you don't have that, keep it as is. But what this does is disables all the enhancements to your sound, which do cripple performance. And the enhancements they're basically non-existent, but it's good to disable them. Okay, advanced, apply spatial sound, and you can change how loud the speakers are. And that's all you need to do. If you have headphones plugged in, you can do the same. Do the same with all your audio devices, but I don't recommend doing this to a microphone because it could it could decrease the quality a bit. And performance optimization, this is going to make you feel performance differences. So you want to click adjust for best performance and custom. You want to click show windows into the icons. Show window contents while dragging and smooth edges of screen fonts is applied, and when this is applied, this file is applied, you're going to immediately feel a difference in speed. And I realized why my Windows key wasn't working. I made a mistake and locked it on my keyboard. So power plan, this is kind of important. So you want to click import power plan, and this will import the power plan. Now if you're on a laptop, if you want the best battery life, then keep your stock power plan. But if you want some kind of performance boost, less battery life, you could do this. Like you want to click on install power plan, and why isn't it appearing? Oh, I know why it's appearing. Make sure this file is named. I need to do it from here. Make sure you do this in your local C drive. And you want to make sure it's completely named to this. And you want to click on just film optimize. Go back, and you want to click install power plan. And it's the power plan is installed. So it's going to install the most optimal power plan for your system. And this is going to automatically delete power plan, but you can run this file, go to stop power plan, and which will revert the deletion in case you want your power plans back. But this is going to install power plan. This is the best power plan for Windows, and this is going to install that power plan, and it can help a lot with performance, speed, overall. And you want to go to the RAM optimization, select which type of RAM you have, which amount of RAM you have, and to see how much RAM you have, I'm actually made a file. So press Windows plus R, enter shell, and press Control, and I'm going to copy this. And it says I have 4 gigabytes. That's not actually my actual RAM. I have like 24, but since I'm a virtual machine, acting this in case I have 4 gigabyte of RAM on your computer. That's going to represent the total amount of RAM you have. So since I have 4 gigabytes on my virtual machine, I'm just going to put that. And that's basically it. So you can move on to the next stuff. And if you have an odd number of RAM for some reason, just follow this. Just follow this and follow this guide, which will help you put in the amount of RAM you need. And next is your graphics card settings. Now, A and D, this is going to be the best settings for your graphics card. You can always change them. Let's say you have a NVIDIA graphics card, which is the most common graphics card. You want to download the NVIDIA Profile Inspector. Now I shouldn't be really doing this since I don't have a NVIDIA graphics card, but if you do this, you want to make sure that NVIDIA Profile Inspector is installed and drag it to this location. then drag the video profile inspector to the optimized profile. I'll show you how to do that. Click extract here. Extract here. And there's a program, so I can't obviously launch this program since I don't have a NVIDIA graphics card, but you want to drag it to the GPU settings, drag it to NVIDIA, drag it to best settings, and you want to drag the optimized profile into here, and should say you want to do this, confirm, click on yes or okay. I obviously can't drag this since I don't have a NVIDIA graphics card, but the other graphics cards, it's just like an image. And another thing is to update your DirectX version. So you can click agree, install the pink bar. Don't install that. It's really terrible. And it is going to install your DirectX for you. It's going to update it. Install the components. Update your DirectX. Some applications they don't install like DirectX. They give you an error, so installing your DirectX is beforehand is going to prevent you from getting those issues. And so the network optimization, this is where it gets a little tricky. So first you want to click on your Windows network settings. Now this is going to take you to delivery optimization tab. You want to click allow downloads from other PCs. You really do not want that happening. Do not, make sure this is off, because this is going to help download Windows updates from other PCs, and don't from other PCs on your network. And you don't want that happening because that could really slow down your internet speed. And you want to go here, click on percentage of measured bandwidth, check these options, set this to the lowest. Now if your PC downloads Windows updates pretty slowly, then set it to like a medium balance. But if you don't want, like, when you update in the background, Windows is taking up bandwidth, then set it to like a medium slider. And that's for the first step. And for the second step is to update your network drivers. Now this is Intel killer. I don't recommend updating your network drivers if you have Realtek or like Broadcom. But if you have Intel killer and Realtek for your Ethernet drivers, which is like the cable connecting to your PC to your internet box, then let's say I have Realtek. I download the Realtek drivers. This is going to take you a link to download each of these drivers. You can follow the instructions and make sure you just install the latest driver. And for Realtek, you want to download the Windows 10, Windows 11 installation program. And for other like Killer, Realtek, there should be something similar like that. And you could download their drivers. And since I'm not going to install these drivers because I'm a virtual machine, but if you're on an actual real computer and do this, then this is the TCP optimizer. You want to click the TCP optimizer. gonna click that. You wanna wait for this to load, and you wanna set this and set you can back up the current settings and put it in this file. Save. But you want to click on Restore Backup Settings and click on the Optimize Profile and click OK. And this is going to basically optimize your network adapter settings. It's going to improve your ping times, just going to basically improve your internet and make your network adapter optimized. So I'm going to click OK. And this is gonna this is you may wait a bit for this to apply. And another thing I forgot to tell you, if you're using like Wi-Fi, make sure you select Wi-Fi for doing this. If you're using a Ethernet adapter, make sure to select Ethernet before doing this. And that's it. And a DNS server, this is totally optional. But the instruction file here in a text file I created. Press Windows + R, type ncpa.cdl, click enter, and click on your network adapter, hit properties, click on properties, and use the following DNS address. Put any of this, but I personally recommend the Cloudflare DNS, since it's one of the best DNS servers out there. And you can click OK. Okay, if you're getting issues with your DNS server, and then change this to automatically, but you click OK, close, and that's how you do it. So you basically finish optimizing our network. And the next thing we're going to do is going to clean up the temporary files that Windows uses. And you want to click on delete temporary files. Click this, delete log files, and this is going to delete the log files and Windows. And you can always run these in the background when you delete the files. Disable delete Windows Update Cache, and this is going to delete the Windows Update Cache. And this is the test cleanup. And using this cleanup, you're gonna free a bunch of space on your hard drive. So if you could let me know in the comment section how much space you were able to free up, then that'll mean a lot. I've seen some people free up like gigabytes of space. You're probably gonna have way more storage. You can also clean up your cycle bin. Now, if you don't know, Windows, every time you delete a file, Windows puts it in the recycle bin. But if you want to look at like any of your deleted files, you just type this, go to the recycle bin, and you have the option to move those files back. So you have important files in the recycle bin you may have accidentally deleted. And you could do that. And I had 220 megabytes of space I could free up, which isn't a lot, but I know that you're gonna have way more than I have since this is a clean Windows installation. Imagine if you use your computer for a couple of years, you're probably gonna have like I don't know, like 50 gigabytes you can clean up. And this won't delete any of your data. This is just Windows temporary files and Windows users. This won't delete any data, so you don't have to worry about that. And you can also put next, disable unnecessary services. And this is all the unnecessary services. You can disable the telemetry services if you don't want Windows to track you. Disable diagnostic and telemetry services. Disable. Make sure you drag these into the power one, because they won't work if you don't do that. So disable extra unnecessary services. I'm gonna drag that. Disable unnecessary services. Yes. Disable Bluetooth services. If you use Bluetooth, don't do this. But if you, in case you don't use Bluetooth, you can disable it. Disable download maps manager. Disable that. Disable printer services. If you have printer, don't do this. But if you don't use printer, you can disable it. And disabling Xbox services. If you use like Xbox app, Microsoft Store, then don't do this. But if you don't use this, click OK. And in case you made a mistake, there's a revert folder where you can drag your Bluetooth services, your extra stuff that you really need. You accidentally disabled, so that the revert folder, just drag. If you say you wanted to enable Bluetooth again, drag that and go click yes, and that will re-enable your Bluetooth. And the programs now, the first program I'll be covering is Adware Cleaner. It's from a company called Malwarebytes, and an update is available. If the update is available, then make sure you download it. Agree. Settings, and you want to click on users and threat statistics. This is going to basically make them track you. You don't want them to track you, and you want to click scan now. It's going to scan your all the common files in your system. And it's going to detect. Now, if you buy a computer from the store, you're gonna probably have a bunch of these, and that's called pre-installed software or bloatware. So that's going to disable that for you. Now, you want to make sure you click on skip basic repair, and it should say, do you want to clean up these files? And yes, and make sure you quarantine and make sure you delete all files in here. And so for the device cleanup, it's going to clear all your devices that you haven't used. It's going to clear the data of them, but it'll act like it'll act like you never plugged this device into the computer. And this is going to basically clear the data from Windows records like a certain device that was plugged, and you can just click remove all. This is going to remove all those devices, but it won't remove the data inside them, so you don't have to worry. And this program, I'm going to get to that now. So for our ISLC, what you want to do is you want to drag this to your Windows program files folder. You want to click that, click ISLC, and you want to and make sure these two are checked, and make sure you click free memory is lower than your half your total memory in megabytes. So 4 gigabytes of RAM equals to 496, and 496 divided by 2 is, you'll get 2048. And if you type 2000 and 48. Uh, 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 yeah. So basically, make sure you select that, and you want to make sure enable custom time and resolutions check, and you want to make sure let's click start and make sure your polling rate is set to 10,000. And yeah, now this program, it's basically gonna reduce your delay in like games. It's gonna make it's like time and resolution. If you know that program and know that program, you don't have to do it. It's mainly for gamers, but you don't have to use it. And we're actually almost done this file. So we technically basically done everything. So enable user account control. This is going to enable the user account control, because basically if you run any program, it won't give you the prompt to do so, which could be a big security risk. It could also prevent some of your games from launching. It just make sure you enable it, and you want to make sure you click yes. And it's going to take, say, you need to restart your computer. You don't have to do that right away now, because we have a couple of minor stuff to do. And set the Windows refresh rate, and this is going to set your refresh rate of your monitor. Now my monitor is not 1 hertz refresh rate. I don't know why it says that. It says I have 64 hertz. Now I don't actually have 64 hertz refresh rate. I think this is because I'm in a virtual machine, but you want to make sure that this is set to the highest value. This is one of the most ignored concepts of a monitor. Let's say you get a 240 hertz monitor, and you forget to set the refresh rate in Windows. And I hear this a lot from people. They say that they haven't set their refresh rate in monitor, and like 2 years ago, they've actually found out they were supposed to set it in Windows. So make sure you do that. Your monitor refresh rate, it's gonna make your cursor, it's just gonna make things feel pretty smooth. It's smooth. Just see for yourself, and you'll see what I'm saying. And you are finished, and you should see immediate performance improvements. And this reason, to make some things worse, you can always system restore. And there's actually one more bonus tip that I could show you. And that bonus tip is pressing the Windows R key and type in msconfig. And make sure it says selected startup, load system services, and load startup items. And you want to click the boot. And you want to click on no GUI boot. Make sure that your timeout is set to 5 seconds. If you have more than one operating system installed, this is going to shorten that timeout, which could help you get to Windows faster. And this will overall make your computer feel overall more speedy when getting to the desktop. So no GUI boot, and make sure you don't check make all boot settings permanent. And you want to click on made it this far and in this video. I want to thank you for like sticking around and actually listening to all the advice. I really thank you for taking a time out your day to listen to this, and consider yourself lucky, because your computer, you pretty much optimized it. You did this, you did that. I don't know if I clarified in the GPU settings. I had to update your driver first, and then do the changes and best settings, and update your DirectX. if you need more elaboration, you can always contact me. But make sure you restart your computer, and you're going to enjoy the immediate performance increases. If for some reason this made things worse, then you could always system restore. You could always do that. And if you need help doing that, I'm going to make a video teaching you how to restore from a system restore point. And this is basically get you fully optimize your Windows 10, and you should see immediate performance benefits. So I already see my Windows acting so much speedier. It's overall feel much faster. But you're done. You're done, and I appreciate those who stick around to the end. And on Windows computers now optimized, you can enjoy faster gameplay. Some your game frames per second will increase. And it's basically configured the computer. If you've seen some huge performance increases, definitely let me know in the comment section. But thank you for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. And yeah, I'll see you in the